I never thought I would feel lonely inside my own marriage. People always talk about loneliness as if it only exists when you are by yourself. An empty house, an empty bed, but no one prepares you for the kind of loneliness that shows up when someone is still there. I used to believe marriage was protection, that love would shield me from silence, that having someone meant never feeling forgotten. I believed that for years. I have been married for 6 years. 6 years of waking up next to the same person. 6 years of shared routines, shared responsibilities. My husband's name is Mark. He is not what people call a bad man. He never betrayed me. He never raised his voice. And because of that, it took me a long time to admit something was wrong. From the outside, our life looked calm. We paid the bills. We celebrated birthdays. We showed up to family dinners. People said we were solid, reliable. Sometimes I said the same thing. But inside, I felt something slipping away. Not suddenly. Quietly. So quietly that I blamed myself for noticing it. In the beginning, our connection felt natural. We talked until our voices felt tired. But our minds stayed awake. We shared dreams that weren't practical. Big dreams. Small dreams. Dreams that made us laugh. Back then, I felt seen. Really seen. But time doesn't ask permission. It settles into routine. Questions become habits. Answers become predictable. How was your day? Fine. That word followed us everywhere. At first, I told myself to relax. Marriage isn't supposed to feel new forever. People change. Life gets busy. That's what adults accept. But deep inside, I felt something missing. And I didn't know if it was normal or something dangerous. Mark started coming home later. Not late enough to worry. Just late enough to create distance. He looked tired. Not physically exhausted. Emotionally worn down. He would sit beside me and open his phone. Gone. Right in front of me. I sat there too. Same couch. Same space. Silence stretching between us. I tried to talk. At least. I tried at first. But every sentence felt heavy. As if I was asking for something unreasonable. So I learned to stay quiet. I swallowed my disappointment. My fear. My longing. I smiled more. I asked for less. People said I seemed peaceful. Inside, I felt smaller every day. There were nights I lay awake, listening to his breathing, feeling how close he was, and wondering how someone could feel so far away. I missed him, even though he never left. That realization hurt more than anger ever could. I started noticing other couples. Small moments. A hand held without thinking. A laugh shared without effort. I hated myself for paying attention. But once you notice absence, you can't stop seeing it. I wondered if I was demanding too much. Maybe love was supposed to become quiet. Maybe excitement was childish. Maybe this was adulthood. But my chest kept feeling tight. I felt guilty for being unhappy. There was nothing dramatic to point to. No betrayal. No shouting. Just quiet. Endless quiet. One night. Fear escaped my mouth. Do you still love me? I didn't mean to ask. The words slipped out. Before courage disappeared. Mark looked at me. Surprised. Not defensive. Of course I do, he said. I believed him. And that confused me. Because love was there. But presence was not. Connection was not. And I couldn't explain the difference. How do you explain a feeling? When it has no shape? How do you describe emptiness? Without sounding ungrateful? So I didn't try. I'm fine, I said. That sentence became my shelter. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. I felt myself fading. Not disappearing. Just becoming quieter. Less noticeable. Then, one night, everything slowed down. Mark came home later than usual. He didn't turn on the lights. He didn't say hello. He sat at the table. Still. Heavy. I'm tired, he said. But his voice carried something else. Not exhaustion. Defeat. He told me. He felt like he was failing. At work. At home. That everyone expected strength. And he had none left. He stayed silent. Because silence felt safer than admitting weakness. Something shifted inside me. The anger I didn't know I had quietly disappeared. We were mirrors of each other. Both exhausted. Both afraid. Both silent. In the same house. I reached for his hand. It felt unfamiliar. And safe. At the same time. I've been lonely too, I said. My voice cracked. Not because he hurt me. But because we both waited. Until the distance felt unbearable. That night. We talked. Slowly. Carefully. Not trying to fix everything. Just trying to be honest. We talked about fear. About pressure. About how silence slowly became normal. I learned something valuable. That night. Love doesn't always end in loud arguments. Sometimes. It disappears quietly. When no one feels brave enough to speak first. We are still learning. Some days are still quiet. But the silence feels different now. It no longer feels empty. It feels like space. Space to speak. Space to be honest. Because now, when something hurts, we say it. And sometimes, that is enough to keep love alive.